Good morning. We want to thank everybody for being here this morning, especially members of the media and all the law enforcement agencies that you see represented here today. Also, if you see behind us and around us, you will notice that we are holding candles. Those candles represent lives. Lives who hope to get to their destination over the holiday season. We here, as we gather together, and over the next several weeks, will focus on a lot of things. You will focus on a lot of things all the way through the next several weeks that are very important. Important to everyone, important to all of us. We'll be able to experience surprises. We'll receive gifts. We'll celebrate joy and laughter. And we'll bring in the year 2014. We'll set new goals. There's one thing that we all have the privilege of. That is a gift in itself, and that is the ability to drive on the highways and streets of the great state of Tennessee. We're asking you, as you travel over those next several weeks, that as more people than ever drive on the highways, that you be wise in your intentional decisions to drive the speed limit, to drive soberly, to drive non-distracted, and with regard to the other people that will also be driving upon those roads. Do not let your lack of responsibility take away the joy and celebration of your loved ones or the loved ones of others over the holiday season. Over the next several weeks, starting today, December 13th, we will enter into our holiday campaign, our Booze It and Lose It campaign. There will be roadblocks by Tennessee Highway Patrol and other agencies, saturations and other patrols all across Middle Tennessee and the Cumberland region, who we are partnering here with today as we kick off this campaign. Our number one goal is to make it safe for everybody, that we can enjoy the holidays, that they are uneventful when it comes to losing lives and injuries and accidents upon our highways. Law enforcement knows way too well what happens when you make irresponsible choices. One moment of irresponsibility on your part can carry with it a lifetime of regret. Last year, during this campaign, which goes through January 1st, the law enforcement agencies in Middle Tennessee, which covers 23 counties, issued 1,149 seatbelt violations, 7,056 speeding violations, and 684 DUI offenders were taken off the road and arrested. Why do I say that? I say that to let you know that law enforcement works the holidays. We work weekends. And it is our intention, as we sacrifice time with our families, that you arrive safely at your destination and get to be with yours. We're thankful this morning to have with us someone who is very passionate about the message I speak to you about today. And because he is passionate and because of his leadership, we have some of the greatest safety programs in the nation today. And we're happy to have with us today Director Kendall Poole of the Governor's Highway Safety.
Thank you, Tony. And let me just speak just a minute to the members of the media. You guys know that we do this all the time, and it never gets old. And you guys are a partner with us. We couldn't get the message out if it weren't for you being here today. So we greatly appreciate that, because we talk about education, enforcement, engineering. TDOT does a wonderful job with our roads, keeping them safe. But education includes not only what we're teaching in the schools and in the communities, but it's getting that message out. So your relationship with this message is integral to the success of what we're doing. So we greatly appreciate that. It strikes me as we stand up here during holiday season and holding the candles and the lives that they symbolize in the state of Tennessee, that it's pretty easy to get coverage this time of the year. It's the time of the year where we focus on family and partnership, and a great time to focus on the potential of lives, or even the potential of lives lost. What you need to know is the ladies and gentlemen that are standing around the room today do this 365 days a year. And if you look at the digital message signage boards, and there are 151 of those across the state, if you look at those, this morning it's showing that we're 30 fewer fatalities than we were at this same time last year. That's 30 lives that are saved. That's a lot of lives. And over the course of the last 8 years, we're down 33%. It's in excess of 300 lives that we've been able to help save over the course of the last few years. So with that, I want to say congratulations to the state of Tennessee and the citizens, because without receiving that message and without the enforcement to back up those messages, that we wouldn't be able to be successful. So I just want to say congratulations. Tony and Clint both do a terrific job. Talk about passion and talking about being able to rally the troops, if you will, and bring the folks in to get the message across. If you look in this room, we've got folks from West Tennessee, we've got folks from Middle Tennessee, we've got folks from the Cumberland region, we've got folks from East Tennessee. It is a passion of theirs to be able to do this. And what we want to do, by virtue of this press conference, is tell you that the numbers of people translate into life saving. So we're engaged, and we can go anywhere in the state of Tennessee and gather our partners and share with them the message. And they go out in their communities, in their cities, and they're able to share that. Then we know we're being successful. Obviously, we hope that the number goes to 0. And if that is not viable, then we want it to go as low as it possibly can. So when we partner with law enforcement across the state, and they show up and they're engaged with us and our message, then obviously we hope that that translates into more lives saved. Not just during the holiday season, even though this is a wonderful time to recognize this, but again, 365 days a year. We know that we're having an impact. We plan to even have a greater impact at the end of 2013 and on into 2014, because that's what we're about. We're not going to forget what we do, but we do want to remember the lives that have been lost, and we want to recognize the fact that we are going to be able to be in a position to save even more lives through the course of this next year. So thank you, Tony and Clint and everybody else, for just being so dedicated and so passionate about your jobs and about helping provide a public service to the state of Tennessee that's absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to continue to do that. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Kendall. I had the privilege before coming on board with the Governor's Highway Safety Office to follow behind someone who was passionate, who followed right in with Kendall's passion, and I'm thankful to be able to partner here with him in this press event today. He is a mentor to me. He's passionate about his job. He's been trained a lot of law enforcement agencies across the state, and as Kendall, just to reiterate what he said, has done a phenomenal job in his region. At this time, I want us to welcome LEL, Law Enforcement Liaison Clint Schrum of the Cumberland region.
Thanks, Tony. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and discuss just a little bit why the Cumberland region, which encompasses the Chattanooga district and the Cookeville district of the Highway Patrol, would come to Murfreesboro and talk about highway traffic safety. When Tony was talking about doing this press event today, we come together and thought, well, we're going to be in the middle of the state. Why don't we partner together and maximize the coverage? So we have a twofold reason for being here. First of all, the Cumberland region is on the brink of having a record year for the total number of fatalities. They have decreased ever in the history of us keeping records for the Cumberland region. Our best year ever was 2009, 2011. We had 194 fatalities when we combined the number of fatalities in the Cookeville region and the Chattanooga region, or the districts. Right now, we're at 179, and we intend to have the best number ever. That's 179 too many. But we're going to get that decrease, and we're going to do it because we're going to be out in number in those two districts. Just because the county line stops here or there doesn't matter to us. So we're going to do that. We're going to make sure that we have that record decrease this year. So when people are traveling down the I-24 corridor that goes into Chattanooga, or the I-40 corridor that passes through the Cookeville district into Knoxville, they're going to see an increase in the number of troopers, the number of city police officers, the number of the sheriff's deputies that we will have out, because we intend to save those lives. Chattanooga district is down 26 fatalities. The Cookeville district is down 5 fatalities. So we're making a difference in what we're doing. Another reason why we're here is because sometimes there's a gap in media coverage in the Cookeville area just because of where it's located. So we wanted to be able to connect Nashville media coverage with Knoxville media coverage and maximize the message. And so that's why we chose to team up today and spread the message of highway traffic safety and what we're going to do this holiday season. It's always a tough time during this time, especially because of the holiday season. If you hear about somebody losing a loved one, a tough time because of the holidays. And we don't want that to happen. We want to go through this holiday season with 0 fatalities. And that's very doable if people will listen to the message, drive the way they're supposed to, put their seatbelt on. It's very real. It's very doable. And that's what we want to do. I don't want to take up the time because I want to turn it over to Captain R.C. Christian from the Cookeville Highway Patrol District, because they're the people that's out there beating the streets, getting the work done, and making sure that people can get to their destination. So at this time, I'll turn it over to Captain R.C. Christian from the Tennessee Highway Patrol Cookeville District.
Thank you, Clint. I want to say very quickly how thankful that we are to be here today as well, and to be a part of this as we kind of kick off, truthfully, one of the busiest times of our, I guess, our year, because there's a lot of things going on. We have the, this booze or lose it comes at a perfect time, because as you know, this escalates into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and there's going to be a lot of people that's doing some things that they shouldn't be doing, so to speak. As far as our enforcement efforts, we've got about 6 things that we're planning on doing between now and the end of the year. And of course, this booze or lose it runs beginning today through the end of the year. We're going to have 2 seatbelt blitzes in amongst this as well, which we have recognized really the non-restrained people in these crashes are getting to, the numbers are getting somewhat higher, and it's our job to address this, and we fully intend to do that as well. We also have the Christmas holiday period time that's coming up, as you well know, and kind of it escalates into something that we're doing in our area that Clint is doing with the Governor's Highway Safety Office. He brings us in what we call the Cumberland Crackdown, and what we do with that is we look at our main areas, which 2 of our main thoroughfares, even though secondary roads, are Highway 111 and of course 127 through Crossville, and we kind of share that area, with the Chattanooga district as well. But this is some of our main areas, and we recognize that along with I-40, and we're planning on doing saturation to that. And I say that about this Cumberland Crackdown because it leads me into this next thing. And I think about the partnership that we have from the Highway Patrol perspective with these local law enforcement agencies. Now, I want to tell you very quickly, my father was chief of police, and I say that truthfully to this fine group of people behind me, because I learned very early in life how it takes all of us working together to achieve the goals that we want to achieve. If we're not working together, we're not going to see, we're going to see tangible results, but when we come together and work as a group, we're able to kind of see the effects of our efforts more so. And it kind of shows us what we're doing. And one thing too, by pooling these large amount of resources together, it also allows us to network, and it allows us to fine-tune what we need to address in individual communities, because the Cookeville district alone, in this area around Nashville as well, we have some very rural counties, and then we have some urban counties in that area. And we have to try to develop plans to address things in these areas as a whole. Now, as far as safety on the highways from now to the end of the year, we fully intend to have a tremendous push because we echo the thoughts that's already been said. We don't want any more traffic fatalities. We take this very personal. We do not consider this as just a stat. And I can say that wholeheartedly because at the 1st of December, we had 4 young people that lost their lives in one of our counties in the Cookeville area, in Warren County. And this not only affects us personally, but it affects this community, and it affects these agencies, but it affects these families, and it's heartbreaking when you think of 4 seniors that's not going to be able to graduate. You're going to wonder what they might have accomplished in life and what they might have done. And to tell you we don't take this very personal, you know, I'd be amiss in not mentioning that to you. It's very real. To these families, it's very real. It's very real to us as we go and we talk to these families to let them know these things that's happened. We fully intend to be out here. The intensity that we're going to be out here with the last part of this year, we're going to be out there, we're going to be very bold, we're going to be very strong. We're going to be looking for impaired drivers, we're going to be looking for people that's not wearing their seat belts, we're going to be looking for hazardous moving violations as well. Because it's our hope through all of these agencies represented here, and even the ones that couldn't be here today, that we achieve that common goal to make our roadways safer, but most of all, to save someone's life. Because in all honesty, that's what we're here to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Christian. Captain Christian mentioned partnerships. I live very adjacent to Rutherford County, and I'm very thankful for the partnership that we have with Rutherford County, and they have been very willing to reach out in ways and areas that it takes to make what we do work the way it needs to work. And we're thankful today to have with us Sheriff Robert Arnold with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department.
Thank you, Tony. Just want to say it's an honor to be a partner with the Governor's Highway Safety Office again this year. We've worked since 2010 with the Governor's Highway Safety Office to bring the different Lose It and Lose It campaigns to Rutherford County. Drunk drivers take innocent lives in Rutherford County when you have wrecks, and that's what we're out here to prevent, is the crashes and or threatenings of life of other Rutherford County citizens. The big thing I want to say to everybody is think before you drink, because with this type season, we're going into Christmas. You have all the Christmas parties going on. I know of many going on throughout our community, and I've told many people to think before they drink, before they go to these events, because it's this time of year that we have more drunk drivers on the roads because of going to the Christmas parties and having a drink or two and thinking they can get back behind the wheel and drive home. And accidents happen, and then innocent lives get taken. So again, I want to thank the Governor's Highway Safety Office for their partnership with Rutherford County. I want to thank all the other agencies here. You know, Rutherford County is honored to be a part of your agencies as well in partnering with the Governor's Highway Safety Office. But again, I'd like to stress to people, think before you drink. Thank you.
Another great partner we have at the Governor's Highway Safety Office is the Laverne Police Department. We have with us today Lieutenant Chris Gomes from the Laverne Police Department.
Thank you, Tony. We at the Laverne Police Department have been working with the Governor's Highway Safety Office for quite some time now. Tony's been a great help, a great friend of ours, assisted with many things that we've initiated. Throughout this holiday season, we'll be conducting alcohol sobriety checkpoints weekly for the rest of the year, and then some. Alcohol saturation patrols will be done nightly, and we'll be out there looking for anyone that has been drinking and driving. That's going to also include prescription medications. If you're taking prescription medication to decide to drive, we're going to be there to get you also. my suggestion to everyone is if you've had anything to drink, one drink, don't drive. If you've had any medication, the bottle says don't drink, don't drive under this medication, don't do it. And if you decide to do it anyway, we're going to be there and we're going to arrest you and we're going to take you to jail and possibly ruin your life. I'm not a great speaker. The Chief Mike Walker is the one that does most of our speaking, and his oldest daughter is getting married this weekend, so we'll excuse him on this one. But with that being said, the last message is just what the campaign is, booze it and lose it. And also the same thing for prescription medications, which is on an increase in our area. Probably just as many DUI arrests come out of prescription meds or illegal meds than alcohol. But thank you very much, and thank you, Tony.
Yes, sir. I also want to thank the Chamber of Commerce here in Rutherford County. What a beautiful place and fitting place it is for us to have this event today to kick off this campaign. We thank you very, very much. While this campaign is not all about tickets, it's not all about how many people we can arrest, it's about how many lives that we can save. That's something we'll never know the numbers for. We'll never know how many lives that we save over this holiday weekend or any weekend. But we can say this: we will do all within our power to make everyone's holiday safe and joyful. For those of you who do not heed our warning and our plea, remember, there are people who are committed to keeping the highway free from your actions. Thank you so much to all of our partnerships here today. Guys, thank you for all that you'll do over this holiday, the time that you'll sacrifice to help to save the lives of people on our roadways and to prevent any incidents from happening that would take away and rob our joy, our happiness in such a time as that we'll be approaching. Thank you very much. And thank you, media, for being here today and all our constituents. Thank you. If you have any questions, these guys will be around for just a few minutes, and please feel free to talk to them. As you well know, we'll be having our regional meeting. It will be over at the Doubletree on Highway 96, Old Fort Parkway, and I know most of you are going to be going over there, and that will begin about 11:30, but make your way. Please feel free to do that. Thank you.